On this episode of Playlog, we've been playing a lot of indie games. So, let's just talk about them. We're recording. Don't incriminate yourself.
Never.
I bet. Who good? Because if you did, I had to find a new partner. That's so much work. Oh man. Hey guys, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, can't talk indie games alone because that would be super boring. And okay, I changed my script from last time, and I think I fucked it up from last time, and now I all fucked it up. Anyway, I said fuck like 3 times in the intro. So alongside me, I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. What's popping on me?
I'm finally out of the closet that you locked me in
Thank
for 2 weeks.
God, I just needed you to be quiet in there. I was just sick and tired of it.
Like I saw daylight today. It was weird.
That shouldn't happen. It should have been blackout over there. We should have had like the big old dome around the house so you could still see darkness. Yeah. It was supposed to move progressively, but you were supposed to have the sun yet.
Oh yeah, the first minute was like, I can't see, I'm blind.
Fuck yeah. Listen. I'm glad you got the sun back. Vitamin D, it's important for the body or something. I'm not a health nut.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Oh, man. Before we get going here, real quick reminder, as part of the podcast, we'll be doing our monthly book club, where we go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. For the month of October, we'll be reviewing Spiritfarer, a cozy management game about dying. As a ferry master to the deceased, you'll build a boat to explore the world, care for your spirit friends, and release them into the afterlife. So, if you want to get involved in the episode, play the game this month on Steam, Switch, PlayStation, or Xbox, included on Game Pass. Then head over to our write-in form in the description and give us your thoughts on Spiritfarer for October 29th episode of Playlog Podcast. If you can join us live at twitch.tv/CGDannyB on that day, you can chat with us in the chat or catch the upload a few days later on youtube.com/CGDannyB. I have a few people already excited for this one. Usually it's the book club is kind of us. Like we played the game, let's talk back and forth. We had a little bit for Night in the Woods. But I've got Aid Medics in chat like, oh, I've been playing and I got to this character and I did this. And other people are like, oh, it's going to be on Game Pass. Somebody, I forget who it was, so forgive me, they might be listening. But I was like, yeah, guys, we're doing the book club this month while I was streaming. And like, did somebody say Spiritfarer? And these went feral. And I was like, yeah, I did. Like, oh my God, it gives me an excuse to play again. I'm like, okay, cool, hell yeah, let's go.
It is a special game.
It's so nice.
It's one that really resonates for a long time after you finish it.
Yeah. I'm like excited. That's a spot where I know I've read some of his dialogue before, so I kind of WK. I'm like, but no, I need to like reaffirm who the Gwen, like the intro character, like you talked to her a lot. I'm not gonna jump the gun. This will be in a couple weeks, guys. Relax. But yeah, I'm like, oh man, I did this and I did that. Oh, I gotta. Okay, hold on. I gotta listen to what she's got to say. I gotta give her a hug. I'm sorry, Gwen. I didn't mean to skip your dialogue. Come here. I'm sorry. Have some popcorn. Oh boy. But we could break in the ice by using a viewer question. That's right. Remember, you can write into the show and ask us your questions about gaming, content creation, life, and etc. We'll read it right here on the show. Just like Hobo Monkey did, guest from last week's episode. If you didn't see that, we played Windblown. Good time. Hobo Monkey writes in and asks, pick an indie game. Everybody except for one character is replaced with Muppets. What game and what character stays as they are? I don't know if I gave you enough time to think about this. Do you have an answer? Because I do.
I have an answer, but you can go
okay.
first.
I had to think about this one because he asked me this last week before we recorded. I'm like, you know what? We can work with that. I'll come with something. And until a few moments before we started, I figured out what game I wanted, and it's Potionomics. I want everyone but Sylvia. Obviously the main character. I think that's a safe bet, but I think it's like this is a great world to do it. But I could also see Quinn, like the super edgy, like annoyed witch, also doing it. But let's go with Sylvia. Just every single customer that comes in, they're like, I need a healing potion. They're just a Muppet. She's like, okay. And you're playing cards against Muppets. And then you go out to talk to the neighbors and you have, I can't think of the walrus's name, but it's just big dude is a huge ass Muppet. Just like, how would you like a cauldron? Like oh my God. I would love it. I know they're releasing the like Mastermind edition, I think is what it's called, in like 2 weeks. And it might be a little too late to add a Muppet mode. However, team, if you could work out a Muppet mode real quick, that'd be pretty sick.
That would be really cool.
But what you got?
I can see it. Like it would definitely work in that way.
Right.
I went for something completely different.
Okay.
I went with Disco Elysium. Because the thing, like, the only character who remains themselves is the main character, Harry.
Okay.
The police officer. And the thing is, like, you wake up with the worst hangover ever.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be just weird if everyone was Muppets and no one acknowledged it? And he'd be like, what the hell is going on? But everybody would have been acting normal. Also, you have like Kuno, who's like the most foul-mouthed kid I've ever heard. And that would be a Muppet as well.
Yeah.
And it would be hilarious.
That'd be phenomenal. I would love that. The grittier, the better. Just seeing those, just like, oh shit. Because like now we have what is it? My Happy Neighbor, is that the name of the horror game? I forget the Muppet horror game that we tried playing last year and I wasn't really into. But like it is a horror game with everyone's like Muppets. You're running around like a studio, like a Sesame Street style studio, and they're like chasing after you. And that's like the horror Muppet thing we have. And then what's the popular YouTube series too? Hug Me, I'm Scared. Is that what it's called? I was never too big on it. Tofr's just like, the fuck are you guys talking about? What?
No,
You're making shit up now.
Listen, I'm old. I have no idea what all of this is.
It's just saying
Back
people
in
like
my
Muppets.
day,
We didn't have Muppets.
we didn't have YouTube.
it does baffle me sometimes, and I'm like, YouTube is 2005. Shit. And like, I'm gonna say this out loud, and you're gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up." But I'm like, man, I was in 5th grade when YouTube came out.
I was 20. So yeah.
Listen, Chad, this is how we get all the perspective. We get the older perspective, we get the millennial perspective, we get we got to bring on like a Gen Z indie game fanatic for another permanent seat. I don't know if I can handle that. They'd be too skibbity toilet for us, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Anywho, quick drink. Let us know in the comments what game you would pick and what character would remain a non-Muppet for that scenario. Now, I didn't do timestamps. Great. We're back at it again, baby. It's not even worth it anymore.
I've been gone for 1 week.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be okay. It's just extra work.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Thanks.
I believe in you.
I don't. We're gonna move on to the quick indie news. First off, Ex-Bethesda team announces their first game, which is called Hawthorne. I can't fucking read. Let me pull this up and give you guys the best possible view experience here. Let me see. I'll play the trailer while I read the article on my other monitor. This is great. We're good. Hey, no music. We gotta talk. Near Studio, a newly launched indie game development studio, has announced its first game. Hawthorne is a nostalgic co-op sandbox RPG village sim. Genres are so long these days. Created by former Bethesda game studios, BioWare, and Naughty Dog developers, on Tuesday, Near Studios shared the charming Redwall-esque first gameplay trailer for Hawthorne. Inspired by Victorian-era European fairy tales and the spirit of the 80s and 90s adventure stories featuring anthropomorphic animals, Hawthorne offers a rich fantasy world where... I had to scroll. Woodland creatures and fairy beings exist in a complex, layered sandbox. Reads a synopsis from Near Studios. Players will have the opportunity to build a village, forge relationships with endearing NPCs, and explore a world that is both familiar and refreshingly new. And there's a few more things talking about kind of the team and everything else. But light indie news day. But I always think it's fun seeing the change from AAA studios who kind of, employees who leave, start their own studio, and you're taking that like AAA knowledge and putting it in the indie space, because I think this game looks gorgeous.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this the first time you're seeing it?
It's the first time I'm seeing it, but I'm already in love with the way it looks. It looks like a fairy tale come to life.
Right? Oh, and I see that little owl over there. He's so cute. I love owls. Yeah, I'm fascinated with this one. I very rarely do the like survival, village sim type thing. Like we just did Moonstone Island and whatnot. But as I said, look at this one. I can see, maybe it's the owl, but I first see like, oh, this has got like Harry Potter energy to it. And it's a great way to be like, oh my God, no J.K. Rowling. That's cool. But yeah, this looks like super charming. And knowing that it's coming from a team, and I didn't read the full article ahead of time, but seeing that it's Bethesda as well as BioWare and Naughty Dog developers is like, that's a lot of powerhouse behind that. I really like it.
Oh yeah. I'm intrigued, to say the least.
Do you think it's something you see yourself playing?
I'm not sure. It depends on how much like they're talking about it being a sandbox. I need a bit of story.
That's fair. Yeah.
And if there's like this world looks like it's a really cool thing for like fairy tales-esque stories.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping if they include that, then definitely I'm picking that one up.
Yeah, let me double back here. Did it say anything about co-op or yeah, nostalgic co-op sandbox. Okay. So it seems like one that like in the right space, like sitting down with friends, just exploring the world. Like I'm gonna go do this. You go catch the fish and blah blah blah. Maybe that's it. But I know there's another one that I think it's single player. Shoot, it's the one like the little mouse running around in like the winter, and you're like trying to get your aunt's house, but you got to build the bridge. You have any idea what I'm talking about?
The Mouse and the Spirit or something?
Not that one, but that's another. I have to still play that one. Winterborn, the mouse. I don't remember. I'm gonna feel like such an ass when I can't think of it. I know it's been advertised. I think it's a Game Pass advert, but yeah, no, that one looks cute. That one's like 2D top down kind of deal. And it kind of gives me that vibe, but this is very different scale wise. So I think it's gonna be something really cool with that.
I'm also getting like hints of Fable, which is a good thing to me.
Yeah, I've never played a Fable game. My only experience with Fable is when I was younger. My cousin was playing it, and in my mind, the only video game was Pokemon. So when I was asking him like where are the Pokemon, he like found a cabbage like this is Bulbasaur and like hit it. And I'm like, why does Bulbasaur look like just a vegetable? And like it just didn't make sense to me. But like he just entertained me by convincing me Fable was like the new Pokemon game, and I just couldn't understand how it worked. But that's my Fable experience.
Yeah, they're decent enough games. I really loved Fable 2. I finished that one, and it's still one of my favorite RPGs, I guess.
Yeah.
But that might be because I haven't played that many RPGs.
Yeah, fair enough. There are a lot. I know we're not indie here, and like Fable, I think looks great. I'll probably hop into it one day. But no, this new Dragon Age right now, looking kind of fire. And I'm like, I'm not a Dragon Age guy, but this shit looks fun. It's gonna be on my Christmas list. I'm like, I'm not gonna pick it up. But I'm like, Mom, I know. Here's some games I skipped this year. Grab these for Christmas. So she's like, what do I get you? I'm like, this and probably Final Fantasy. Grab me those.
Good choices.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? I'm a real gamer. Maybe throw Call of Duty in that pile too. Let me get that Black Ops 6.
37.
Oh, that sounds right. I have no fucking clue. But anywho's Azzles, on to the next headline. A Screen Queensland funds 9 indie studios with over $1.3 million. So like, holy shit, big numbers. This one comes from Vicky Blake over at gamesindustry.biz. Screen Queensland has awarded $1.3 million in funding to 9 indie studios. The Games Grant funding, which will secure the development of 12 games, will also support an additional 40 positions for developers working in the region. This funding supports projects across all stages of development, with up to $200,000 per round and a lifetime cap of $300,000 available. The organization says that its latest round of grants will support games at, all right, here comes the list. Fuzzy Ghost, Salt Punk, Barista Game Productions, Sagestone, S-Bug Games, Max Art, Flow State, and Spitfire Interactive, as well as a full release of 5 live studios, Cozy Caravan. So we talked about that one before, in a caravan. Screen Queensland investment extends across all levels. Let's run that back. Screen Queensland investment extends across all levels of the local sector, and that is paid dividends with renewed confidence in our state studios and the games they are developing. They are proud to be driving a step change in ambition and opportunity across the industry, with Queenslanders can be world leaders in the creation of unique and innovative games. So, I did skip a line here. 3 new additional projects are Prideful Sloth, the T Division, and Sponge Games. Also have secured funding via the Digital Games Incentive. All right, that was a lot of words there that I fumbled, but don't worry about it. Basically, indie studios got a lot of money, so that's pretty cool. Where you at with that?
That's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
It's interesting seeing Spitfire Interactive on that list.
Yeah.
They released Capes earlier this year.
Sure did.
And it sits at mixed reviews at the moment on Steam.
Okay.
But it's something I hope that they keep working on, so they might turn it around.
Yeah, I know. Capes is one I wanted to check out. I had the Next Fest demo, missed it, just never got around to it. It was at PAX, line was long, so I'm like, oh, this is good. But yeah, I haven't got my hands on it yet. But I was excited to see. That was one of the ones I looked at. I'm like, oh, Capes. I recognize that one.
Mm-hmm.
I had. No, go for it.
Go ahead.
I keep talking.
Like most of the studios I haven't heard of yet, so it's interesting to see if these are like studios that have only just started up and they're already receiving grants to help them out. I'd like that. It doesn't only have to be like studios with who have already produced games in the past that get these grants.
Yeah, 100%. I think and that's exactly where I was going. I was telling you before we started, I kind of went through the list and looked for some of these studios to see what games they've made, what games they're working on. A lot of them just under the radar, and I couldn't find them on like Steam or like an official website. I want to say it was might have been Sponge Games that had like a website, but it was just like their logo, so there was nothing to look at. I could be wrong. I'd have to pull it up and search again, but there's like 12 studios there. The few that I did grab info on, so Sagestone is working on Delvirium, which is this like Stardew like life sim, but it's got combat and stuff in it, so that looks really cool. S-Bug Games, probably the one that we're most familiar with. Chat, you would remember we played Webbed back in the day, which was for some reason a strange phenomenon with our viewers. Like they fell in love with it. We made this whole thing because if you haven't played Webbed, you play as a little spider. Your boyfriend gets kidnapped by a giant crow, and it's like Spider-Man web swinging and building webs to go save your boyfriend, and you're helping a bunch of different bugs. And even one of my mods, like the moment we finished the game, she's like, I gotta go work on something. And she wrote a song about us going to find our boyfriend. And it's like, it's on YouTube. I have shared it before. I'm like, yo, y'all fucking loved Web. Like, I don't know what happened here, but it's good. I know S-Bug is working on another spin-off, Isopod, which takes place in the same world, but it's like a 3D platformer. You play as a roly-poly, so you're like, maybe not platforming, but, you know, doing the thing. So that was a fun one to see get funding.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's a scroll. Yeah, Prideful Sloth, dude. They did Go-Go Town, which I think is in early access, I believe. Could be wrong.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let me check.
But yeah, no, definitely seeing unnamed studios is great because I want that like itch later where I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. These guys, I remember seeing in that funding thing, the Queensland thing. So that's really exciting. And seeing where they kind of evolve from that and how some of these other studios either make a new game or add to their previous one. And we love good funding. We love giving money to the little guys.
Yeah, it's cool to see, like, I think Queensland is Australia.
That sounds right. I think that's what the article was saying.
So it's cool, like, seeing them contribute to their country's indie game scene.
Hell yeah.
More countries should do that. Every country should do that.
Yeah, America, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Fund the indie games. Yeah. There's gotta be something, right? Maybe it's just, maybe I don't hear about it enough. Also completely unrelated, but just because the setup in OBS, they won't be able to see it, you won't be able to see it, I can only see it. But I have anyone who knows Kevin, who's the new little PNG chatter in in our streams. He's got a little pumpkin head now for Halloween. And he's on my like vertical overlay that's just for TikToks. And his thing is his mouth glows whenever the desktop item comes in. So as you're talking, Kevin's just a talking pumpkin the entire times. It's really great. Nice. If you want to see Kevin in action, twitch.tv/CGDannyB. There you go.
Hell yeah.
There we go. But yeah, that was a quick indie news. And with that, timestamp, imaginary, clip it in. This episode, we were like, what do we want to do for a topic we would talk about? And I said, look, I've been playing a lot of stuff. Or what we've been playing sometimes goes really long. So what if the episode was just what we've been playing? So today we're doing, 9 reviews, I think. 9 reviews of games we've been playing, keys we got, demos we've been checking out, and all sorts of stuff. And I think with the numbers, it makes sense for me to go first. Is there one of these you want to hear me talk about? Or you just want me to... Let me just go down.
I'm really curious. Like, it's been a couple of weeks now that I've wanted to know about the Plucky Squire.
Perfect. We in it, dog. We in it. Let me pull some of this footage real quick as we about to talk about it. Hold on, chat's hearing this little plucky man make noise. Anyway, I played the Plucky Squire. I finished the Plucky Squire. I thoroughly enjoyed the Plucky Squire. I will say, as someone who, from the moment they announced this game, was like super looking forward to it. Everyone's sending me this trailer like this is a Danny ass game. This hit all the notes that I wanted it to. I've seen a lot of people complaining that it's insanely easy, and it is insanely easy. This is not a hard game. This, like, if this is your first video game, you might get maybe a few steps here and there of like, oh, this is kind of hard. I think the hardest thing for me, there's a bow and arrow mini game, which, like, depending on how quick they fly in, you might not be able to shoot things and you'll die because you just can't aim properly. Other than that, the game's like super cute, super charming. I love the visual style. I love both the 2D and the 3D stuff. I think my one and like only major complaint is that sometimes the narrative just really brings it to a crawl, in the way of like, I put it to like Dora. When Dora's just like, hey, what's in the distance over there? And you're a grown-ass adult being like, it's a pile of hay, Dora. She's like, what was that? And you're like sitting there, she's waiting for you to talk. And I'm like, it's hay, Dora. She's like, hey, is that what you said? And like, it's one of those things where as the action's going and you want to keep moving and you want to get to the next thing, all the characters stop to talk and create narrative. And I don't think the narrative's bad. I think it's suitable. It fits what it needs to do. It's the fact that it like pauses me all the time. Yeah. I have to run the dialogue. That is probably like the only thing I wish I could change now, as I want to go back and get the platinum. Also, some of the trophies are not bugged, but like the little shop doesn't show up once you complete a chapter. So if I want to go upgrade stuff, I can't go back and do that. So I have to start over, collect enough currency as I go, and make sure that I'm getting everything I need. So that's a little bit of a bummer for like trophy hunters. So pull up a guide for your first playthrough if you haven't started yet. But no, it's great. I loved everything I played. Chat seemed to really be into seeing Jot. The funny thing is like, why is he plucky? I'm like, chat, we gotta look up the definition of plucky, because this little guy, Jot, he's the definition of plucky. Look at the little man. It gets a little more, not, I won't say dark, like visually, yes, there's like a darker moment, but like it does. Mature sounds like too much. I don't want to give the explanation like, oh, you're getting into like a real adult game in here. But it does go like, man, sometimes we lose, sometimes we win, and sometimes we got to like, we get knocked down and we got to get back up type thing. It's enjoyable. I had a good time with it. I would say it got as I expected. I don't think it'll potentially be in my top 10. Definitely not my game of the year like I think I would have hoped it would have been. But yeah, I love the Plucky Squire. I would still suggest to anybody, if you're looking for a challenge, you're not going to get that here. If you're looking for just a calm, fun, relaxing experience, you'll get that. It's there. Super cute, super plucky.
Did you have like a preference for either the 2D or 3D gameplay, or was there enough of a difference to have a preference?
There's definitely enough of a difference. So like in 2D, there's a lot of different puzzles in the way of you're messing with words. And I'll see if I can find any of the footage for that. But like you'll walk into a room and on the floor it'll be like, oh, this giant bug is blocking the path. So you have to do some of the puzzles in game to lower the bridge, cross the bridge, grab a thing. It's like, oh, there's a tiny little guy over here. And when you smack the text, tiny is now movable. So you pick up the word tiny, take it back to the bug, take out huge, put in tiny, and then he shrinks. So now your path is cleared. I think this game does a lot with all the different puzzles, but doesn't. It's weird to say it doesn't perfect them, because there's nothing wrong with any of them. I just think there's so many different types of puzzles that sometimes it's hard to. Oh God, I get to do more of these when I'm like, oh, that's the end. Like I did my last word puzzle this game and I didn't really know, and it didn't really like affect me too much. In the same way of like in the 3D world, it is a lot more of the run around, find a 2D thing like the mug or the, the weird cup, and then jump into it, and then do the 2D thing, jump back out, fly again. I think visually I enjoy the 2D stuff a lot more. I think the puzzles were a little bit simpler. The 3D was also great. That's where I think a little more of the challenge came in. There's these big ass bugs roaming around the desk, and they're like bloodthirsty. They're just like, I hear someone around here. And if you like walk too fast, like there's an option to crawl, like step slow so they don't hear you. But if they do, they're coming for you and they're gonna grab you. And the first time you counter them, you don't have your sword. You lose your sword, so they'll just eat you. Like it's not violent, it's not gory, but you're just like, they got me, and then you start over. But
damn.
Yeah, and everything I prefer the 2D in this game, but I still love the 3D stuff. I thought the final boss was really cool. Again, super easy, not challenging, just a little bit long in the tooth. But yeah, it's a really good game. I think the time put into it is definitely worth the adventure. I do say this as someone who played it like for free, air quotes, on PlayStation Plus. I didn't buy it for the $20-$30, I think it is. So, vote with your wallet, pay how you want to, wait for it to go on sale, etc. But no, I had a blast. I think in a sequel, I think there's a lot of room for improvement if they would go that route and do it again.
Okay.
But also, if this was the one in time they did it, I think this is a fun experience. I think it holds on its own and can stick around and be like, oh, I'm the Plucky Squire. Who is calling in the middle of the afternoon? Well, I don't know. I edited this. I don't know.
I don't know. Keep it in. Keep it in. It's just part of our chaos.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to mute myself. I think it's a parent's doctor's appointment. That's all right. Whatever. Yeah, the Plucky Squire it's fun time. Would recommend. If it looks cute, looks adorable to you, you're gonna get the fun and joy out of it. If you're expecting, the crazy challenge, it's not there. It's really simple. I'm hoping for some kind of a DLC expansion, maybe a few more story beats, and if we could just skip dialogue, I think would be the option I need. An update that lets me skip dialogue would be great, but I don't have that. So
okay,
let me see.
Now this is a Devolver game, right?
Yes, Devolver Digital, All Possible Futures. That's the studio that makes it. I believe it's their first game.
Okay, but I was wondering, like, Devolver have published a number of games this year. Is this your favorite of theirs this year, or because it sounds like you had a blast, but there must be like some kind of disappointment because you had pretty high expectations for this
one. It's weird because I hate to say disappointment because I think disappointment means like this game came out and it was not fun at all, or like I just had like a distaste for it. Yeah, I think disappointment's fair to some. I don't think it would be a disappointment for me. As far as it being my favorite I mean, it's in the same year we had Crush House, we have Angerfoot, which I haven't played yet. Hold on, I can pull up Devolver here and see what else I got.
We have Children of the Sun.
Children of the Sun, which is another one I like dabbled in the demo but didn't play. We had Pepper Grinder. I think Phantom Abyss is jumping into last year yet. So even with just that list, I think I would definitely put my time with Crush House over my time with Plucky Squire in terms of just like overall, like how much fun I had and how much like replayability there is.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think if we're listing like the Devolver games I played this year, I would probably put Crush House, Plucky Squire, then maybe like an Angerfoot or a Pepper Grinder, somewhere in that spot. Crush House is a unique experience. I think it does a lot that's really like fresh compared to like the Plucky Squire. Not that it's not fresh, but it is very like I could see different aspects. Like, okay, a game did this, a game did that, and this is kind of the nice culmination of those. It's super stylish and like definitely I want to take away it being unique as it is. But yeah, I think the hype and everything around it. It's almost like when we talk about like Silk Song. We're like, that's going to come out, and I think people are going to love it, and that's going to be people's game of the year, and etc. But there are going to be people who are like, I was gassed for this for so long, and this just didn't scratch the itch, whether that's just playing it at a time where it wasn't quite what they needed, whether that's they had expectations that this game didn't meet, and maybe that's because their expectations were way too high. That might be where I'm at with Plucky Squire, where I was just like, this is going to be the thing that I love the most this year. And maybe it just shows how good of a year it is for indies that I'm like, man, the game that was supposed to get me didn't quite get me that way, but I still loved it. So, good year.
It is a good year. We're still catching up on games from back in May and stuff.
So many games, there's so much to play. So many keys. Oh, but speaking of so many games, you've played stuff too. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I want to ask you, do you like pinball?
I enjoy a good pinball. I do enjoy me a good pinball.
Okay. And do you like climbing spires?
Maybe not in my personal life, but in a game, sure. Yeah.
Okay, well then I have the game for you, and it's called Pinball Spire.
Let's go! All right. I know we talked about this, I think, 2 weeks ago in like the coming soon or like releases this week or whatever, but let's hear about Pinball Spire here.
Yeah, there's really not much to explain. And in this game, you are a singular pinball who later on in the game you get to customize with like cool sunglasses and hats.
Yeah.
Yes. And as the pinball, you're trying to figure out what is going on at the top of the spire.
Okay.
It's really simple as that. The thing is, to get there, you have to play through a number of levels, always climbing higher through the spire, and every level has its own kind of puzzle element, which you play in a pinball style. All of these levels are just delightful. there's a level, for example, where there's no light.
Okay.
And you have to figure out what to do. But the thing is, just before you get to that level, you get like a power-up that allows your pinball to become a fireball.
Okay, great.
And you only get to become a fireball for a limited amount of time, but still it helps you at least see what you need to do in that level. And that way you can progress. And with each level, there's like new powers that get introduced. You get to slow down time. You get to add a dash to your movement, stuff like that. It all really works so well. If you enjoy pinball machines in real life, you're gonna love this.
Okay, hell yeah.
Each room is so unique.
Mhm.
The mood is completely there. Like the music and the visuals all set this tone of like this is maybe a fantasy world. I want to say, and yeah, the gameplay is very responsive. It like the only critique I could have is that it's on the shorter side.
Okay.
Although
so you've beaten it, you've gotten to the top of the spire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna spoil what happens there.
Preach.
But it's worth it. It's like I said, it's not that long, but it's a good time. And if you're not good at pinball machines like I am, you'll take longer than most people. So it's a win-win.
There you go. So how is the challenge is it a challenging pinball game? Is it trying to get through these levels? Is it harder? I know you mentioned like, if you're not good at pinball machines, but for someone who might be like, I like pinball, but like they're not used to maybe the platforming, the traversal, is this something you think I could pick up and get with really quick?
I think so. Like the game's difficulty scales upwards and at a really good pace.
Yeah.
Like it starts out pretty easy, and like I had more difficulty figuring out what I needed to do at times than with the actual mechanics of the game.
Okay.
Like the actual pinball game aspect feels like how would I say this? It's really responsive, like I mentioned, and you're gonna like it's gonna feel like second nature really quickly.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm a sucker for a good pinball game, but I'm not into just pinball. Like I don't go to arcades and do that. The Galaxy pinball you play on like your old PC, like never for me. But you messed me up with Pokemon pinball. God, Nintendo, why do we not have a new Pokemon pinball? You are losing money on the table. God damn it. You have 9 generations of Pokemon. I digress. Yoku's Island Express, Creature in the Well, Pinball Wizard. Like these are all games that like I've loved and had such a good time with because pinball is such a like brain rattling fun time for me. And I'm like, yes, more pinball. So like as I said, there's a fuck, I gotta get to Pinball Spire. Hell yeah. I'm really jazzed. That one looks cool. Did we mention you got a key for that one? I don't know if we said that out the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I didn't mention it, but
cool.
I did get a key for this. There's one thing I still want to mention as well, and that's the camera work in this.
Okay.
Because it's easy in a pinball game to like struggle with the camera. You could like some games will use a fixed perspective. In some games the camera will follow the ball around too much. And this game just hits that perfect balance.
Hell yeah.
Like, yeah, it's really good. It's such a fun time.
Tofr, I have so much to play. I can't play Pinball Spire tonight.
It's only a couple of hours long. So
did you play on PC, on deck? How'd you play?
On Steam Deck.
Okay. Oh, damn it. I don't want to hear that. I was like, oh, I have to
really
play on my
desktop.
Right, don't tell me that. Fuck. How much does bitch run? This is like a $5 jaunt. This is a $10 jaunt. Oh, you got a key on.
I think it's. Let me check.
Don't do this now, Dave. Put the deck away. Put the Steam Deck away. I want to do it later.
Pinball Spire is about $15.
Okay. I can rock with 15. Fuck. Yeah. Damn it. I want to play Pinball Spire.
It's really good, and like you can finish it in a single playthrough.
Okay.
Like just you sit down for like 2-3 hours and you'll beat it, but you're gonna have a damn good time.
Okay. With that, right? So you've got a key, obviously, and I always want to make sure that I'm in check with like the value of a game when I receive it for free. Do you think $15 is worth the amount of time you got into it? Do you think I might be a wait for a sale type deal? Because I know you said a couple hours, and some people might be like $15 for a few hours of my time. Personally, I think that's plenty worth it. You know, you can go bowling for that.
I think so too, but I understand where you're coming from. Like, I think people are gonna say that this is slightly on the higher side of pricing.
Okay.
I think it's worth it, but if you're in doubt with giving this a chance, then pick it up on sale.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Oh yeah.
Especially because of the high level of polish that this game has. Like, it feels good, it looks good, it sounds good. Yeah.
Damn. As like a short side tangent, right? I sit here and think about at the end of the year, we're going to do our plan for the game of the year thing is we each build a list of 10. And I'm debating if you give me your 10 and then I surprise you with the list, or if I give our 2 lists to someone and they do the math, but do one of those like 10th place is 1 point, 9th place is 2 points, first place is 10 points, etc. And see like with how many indie games are out this year, how much crossover there actually is. Like, I can think of maybe 2 or 3 games that we both might put on. And at the same time, like, oh God, like, will this one even like touch the top, knowing that like it's my number 1, but it's Tofr's number 3, or it's my number 5, but it's not even on Tofr's list, or it's your 1 and I didn't even think about it, and blah, blah, blah. Like,
I'm really curious to see how much crossover we have.
We're talking about so many games. Indie games make me giddy, dog. Let's go.
Yeah.
But you know what doesn't make me giddy?
What makes you giddy?
Oh, it doesn't make me giddy is scary games.
Oh.
But they're good scary games. Tofr, I've been playing Grunn, right?
Nice.
So Grunn is this first person farming sim, if you will. You are a gardener. You get hired by a rich guy. He's like, hey, I'm away for the weekend. Clean my garden. Don't go in my damn house. Just get the shit done by the time I'm back on Monday. As simple as that is, when you get there, the shed is devoid of the tools that you need. All that's there are the clippers. So you kind of have to explore the area and find what you're looking for. This place, not a friendly place. It's a little scary. It's a little goofy. There's some dark looking characters around. There's a creepy guy who seems to be following you everywhere you go. I leave the bathroom and he's standing there just like, "Sup, buddy?" and then runs away from me. I'm not sure what his whole deal is.
Okay.
But essentially I think the game has like, my gut says 11, but I think it's more than that. 11 different endings, maybe even more. But depending on what you interact with, what you do wrong, or what you complete, you'll get different endings for your character. So like the good ending would be just to finish the shit and get it done. However, sometimes because you spawn in, you only have the hedge trimmers, but you need a trowel to clean up all the holes in the ground. You need a watering can to water the flowers. The watering can is currently the one that I can't find, and there's not guides online yet, so I don't know where the watering can is. So at this time, Jacob McCourt, you're the only other friend that I know who is playing this right now. If you know where the watering can is, you have to tell me, because I have no idea. It says to go to the park. I don't know where the park is, but I need the watering can. Anyway.
Okay.
But I haven't gotten the completed demo because I haven't found the completed ending because I haven't found the watering can. But there's all these different things happen, right? You find the trowel, which is, to avoid as many spoilers as possible, is in a trapped room. So as you pick it up, something happens. And if you don't get out in time, you die. So you didn't really get the trowel. You end up starting back like, hey, welcome to my house. Don't go in the thing, clean my yard. And every time you get off the bus, go over the bridge, get in the yard. And this whole thing is just me cleaning the backyard. But there's like a church right next to the house that has a bunch of sacred flowers that if you cut them up, some bad things will happen. You want to get into bed at a certain time, but also at that time you go to bed, some things might be happening in the world. I have Polaroids that are implying things are supposed to be happening. I haven't quite figured them out yet. I don't know if I didn't pick up an item yet that was supposed to initiate that. I don't know if I went too late, I went too early, if I like had to trigger it. But I have things like midnight. I don't know. It'd be crazy if you went to a thing. So I have a bunch of different ones to get. But I've got a death where a dog killed me. I've got a death where I think I got jumped by something that is actually kind of important, so I won't spoil that one. But there's a bunch of different endings. The game does get a little repetitive.
Someone just shut the door?
They sure did. Yeah, I'll run that back real quick. So this is like one of the first major keys that you get. You go in here, you're like, oh, I got a key for the churchyard. I wonder what... Now, the footage is silent here. You don't hear it. But when that happens, whenever that dude shows up to get you, like there's just a loud like ringing, like I was gonna say dong, a ringing gong that like occurs that like sets you off, right? That I've run into that guy on 3 or 4 separate occasions. So I must have been taking the bathroom break or something on this footage. But yeah, this gong will go off and it's really loud. And it's like jarring. I'm like, oh God, what is happening in my life? I do wish that this doesn't have a lot of settings in it. There's not a sensitivity settings. I had to really adjust to that. I don't think there's volume settings. That noise is really loud and I'm cool with it the first time. I think the 3rd or 4th time when I know that guy's going to jump scare me, I wish I could like not have him scream in my ear, even though I know it's going to happen. So that's a little frustrating. But this game's cool. It's just like mysterious. I still don't know like what all's going on because I haven't gotten like the true ending. But I'm digging it. I probably have like half the endings right now with the different stuff I can do. But yeah, Grunn's cool.
So you say you have half of the endings. How long does a one playthrough last?
So it's one of those games that has like the accelerated timer. So you wake up at like 6 to 8 in the morning, somewhere in that ballpark. And then you'll see like the 6, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, 7. So it's not short. Like I think a day can last, I'll guesstimate like 15, 25 range minutes for like a full day from like wake up to like midnight when you should go to bed. But it will all depend on like what you do. So if I spend the entire day, totally close my thing. If I spend the entire day doing cleaning, right? If I'm just doing the yard work and I'm not doing any of the things like interacting with people that I can't understand or messing up on yards that shouldn't be any of my business, I won't necessarily like speed run my thing. But in some of the runs, right, where like there's a secret door that you can open just by finding a hidden doorknob. If you go through there, do that, come out on the other side, you find like a whole new part of town, which is more to explore, more things to find, which gives you like 2 or 3 of the other endings that you can unlock. If you go there and do those things, you can just like die. Like you get that, cool, you got the ending, and then you'll start back over. So some runs are a lot longer than others. It's on that line where I would say like, yes, if someone called this a roguelike, I wouldn't argue with them. I wouldn't describe it as such to somebody. But if someone's like, yeah, it's a roguelike, I'm like, yeah. Sure. Yeah. I won't argue. Okay. But yeah, the runs can be as short as, I won't say as short as you want. There is kind of like the tutorial part, right? You have to get off the bus. You have to walk to the house. You have to go across the bridge. Something broke behind you. What was that? It turns out one of the planks fell out, so you can't go back that way. You have to pick up the giant fucking tweezers, the fucking whatever the fuck I'm hitting here, cutting up. So there's some of those things you have to do each run, but once you get to like a certain point, now you're kind of like set free to do it again, right? And go find these things. And each time you die, there's like this ghostly figure like, oh, you must be the gardener. Welcome to my blah, 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 blah. And then like you boom, run starts again. So it's still very mysterious and like there's not a lot of like explanation of what exactly is happening. There's just a creepy guy following me around, and I'm not out of the realm possibility that this dude is just the homeowner. Like, I want to just kill gardeners or some random shit, but I don't know yet. I'm totally like, here's a door that if you're watching the video version, there's a door that's like, it's closed. The church is closed. But I have a photograph that says like church door midnight, and I've tried and that didn't open the door. So I'm wondering if I have to do something to initiate that. And then there's other areas that are blockaded off that I assume I have to unlock by other means. So there's lots just to explore and look at. I did not look at the price this one, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think Indie Maniac showed it to me during last Steam Next Fest. I checked out the demo. So I'm in that spot where right now I'm replaying a couple of the things, so it gets a little slow for me. And that's not like it's the game's fault. That's me playing. I've already played this. Now I got to play it again type deal. But yeah, it's fun. It's like mysterious. If you like just kind of like, there's the guy again. He fucking screams in your ear. Yeah.
Oh
yeah, there's a skeleton and he's got a cool musical instrument. That was my favorite part. I just run around just me. But you also use that if there's a ghost laying around, right? You'll blow that and like a ghost will be like, I'm angry. And they're usually like ghosts of people you find like dead bodies laying around. You can calm them and like send them to the afterlife. Like right here, I'm just like, hey buddy, it's all right. Relax. And they're calm. I'm assuming there's an ending that's going to involve calming all of the ghosts. I've only found 4 or 5 of them at the moment. So I have to figure out how many there are and like what I need to do to get that ending. But that's my guess. So,
okay,
mysterious.
I need to play this.
It's really cool.
Like I always love what Sock Pop Collective do. I particularly liked Stacklands.
Yeah,
which was fun. Which was a really fun card game.
Yeah.
They always come up with these interesting things, interesting concepts. So and just seeing the footage that you showed, I need to play this.
Yeah, it's cool. Let me see. I forget if I said it, but I did receive a key for this one in case I didn't. So FTC, don't get me. But then right now, launch sale, it's 25% off. It's typically $13 on Steam. Right now it's 10. So it's a really fun one. I think for the time I've gotten into it, definitely worth $12. And I still have more shit to explore. And I'm like, the trailer's playing in the back. I'm like, oh shit, I haven't seen that yet. Where do I find that? Wait, where's this thing? So I got more to explore. I got to find the end of Grunn.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my Grunn time. What about you? What else you playing?
I was really happy. I only got a couple of hours in so far, but like yesterday, as of recording this, Kind Words 2 Lo-Fi City Pop released.
Yeah, it did.
I am so in love with this game.
Okay.
Like Pop Cannibal, like they already created one of my favorite gaming experience with the original Kind Words. But they've really outdone themselves with the sequel.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
So maybe for someone who has no idea, because I've seen Kind Words, I've never played Kind Words. And their Day of the Dev stream is just frozen on my screen, so we'll figure that out in a second. But like, what is Kind Words? When you talk first second, like, what does someone expect when they play this game?
The original game was basically you sitting in a room that you can customize, and you respond to letters. Like, people will share what they're struggling with, or what their dreams or hopes are, or anything like that, and you just reply to them, like give them advice, just like tell them that they're not alone, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you can also send them stickers, which is always a good thing. You also can give people a prompt. Like, you can share that you're struggling with something, and then people can respond to you.
Okay.
The cool thing is, you can't strike up a conversation. It's just one post and one reply, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's also completely anonymous, which is a really cool thing, because people tend to share like really intimate stuff.
Okay.
Like people struggling with like mental health issues and stuff like that. This game is like a safe haven for people with struggles like that.
Right.
And going on to the sequel here, you're not locked inside your room anymore. You have an entire city to explore. And so the basic gameplay from the first game is still there. You still have letters that you can respond to. But there's more to do now. When you go outside, you can strike up a conversation. So there'll be characters on the street, and then you start talking to them. They might share something, or you might be the one to initiate the conversation. And then you get like a couple of responses, but that's it. Nothing more than that.
Yeah.
You also can like go to the coffee shop and recite poetry that you've written, or listen to other people's poetry. You can customize your character. You can customize your room. You can go to the book/record shop and like give recommendations for like music, books, video games, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's all set to some really lovely lo-fi music, as the title implies.
We love lo-fi, baby. We love some lo-fi.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's just the most impressive thing that has come from both of these games is the community that it has launched.
Okay.
Because this community is so supportive and so loving. It's heartwarming. That's the only word I can use. It's uplifting and heartwarming.
I love that. I like, in a spot where gaming can be so toxic, it just period, doesn't matter what you're playing. Like, knowing that there's games like this that are like safe havens for people, that like almost like not even a game but an experience type deal, where you just kind of go in and I got something to get off my chest today. I'm hoping people will like, comfort me, or I'm here to comfort somebody. I want to help someone feel better today. Like, that's really cool. Kind Words is a franchise I haven't touched yet. I remember I downloaded the demo and just kind of skipped out on that one just because I was cramming to get everything done. But man, I love seeing that this game exists. I love seeing that people enjoy this game. Like, this is cool.
Absolutely. And I think if I noticed correctly, that people who only have the first game can still get in touch with people from the second game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's I think that's neat.
Yeah.
Like, it's a neat touch. They didn't need to do that, but like, I'm guessing that people who don't have that much to spend will gravitate towards this game.
Mm.
And if they can't afford the second game, they can still like be a part of it.
Yeah. That's dope. So when you're writing a letter, right? Because I'm sure these things, like, it's a lot of personal stuff people are sharing. Have you come across anything that might be like perhaps too triggering for somebody? Is there any kind of like filter for that? Or is everyone kind of very comfortable with like, I choose to not overshare too much? Or like, what's the concern for someone who might be hopping in? Like, I want to be there for this kind of heartwarming community, but I also like, I'm sensitive to these type of things. Like, how's that balance out?
It seems to me that people who tend to like share really triggering stuff will give you a trigger warning themselves.
Okay.
They will start their message with trigger warning and the subject that might be triggering.
Yeah.
And then they start their message.
Okay.
I haven't found any offensive stuff like that or anything. I do know that the game keeps, like the developers they want you to report stuff that shouldn't be there.
Sure.
It's really easy to do that. But from my experience, and with the first game as well, it hasn't been all that necessary, but maybe they just don't share that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it feels like this is a community that like just wants to be there for other people, wants to share hopes and dreams, wants to share the good and the bad. It's just lovely. There's a place on the plaza,
okay,
where you can either describe a cat or name a cat.
Okay.
I mean, it's just so much fun.
I love that.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah, definitely get my needs at some point, like give a shot. Again, one I just hasn't crossed my path. I haven't taken time to jump in, but that experience is just so calming that you're just kind of existing and feeling comfortable in is really cool. I like that a lot.
Absolutely. Also, it's one of those games that you can just like go into for like half an hour, catch up on if you got any replies and stuff like that, and then just like, take some time out of your day to just feel at home.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Does any of the new stuff feel like maybe it's too much at times, or does it feel like it's there if you want to do it? Because like we mentioned the first game, it is like you're in your room, you're doing your thing, you're writing and responding to letters, and doing everything. Just having like the poetry, anything else, just like, is it intrusive in any way? Like if you feel like I don't want to do the poetry part, it's a part of town. If you feel like going there, you can, or
you can choose whatever you want to do.
Okay.
If you want to like play this exactly like the first game, you can.
Okay.
Nothing is expected from you.
Perfect.
For example, like with the letters, you can like you open this inbox with notes from people asking advice or asking support or whatever, and you can choose which ones to reply to. There's never any expectancy to like do something. You never have to do anything. Yeah, it's a low pressure environment, and I really, really dig it.
Yeah, that's great. God, I love this game exists. Love that it's here. That's so cool.
Me too.
But you know what? How about we stop with the cozy junk, get into some war, Tofr? I want to talk about war.
What is it good for, Danny?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Nothing. Except sometimes it's a fun game, and sometimes it's kind of cool. So I was playing the demo for Warside. So Warside, it's Advance Wars. It's there's a lot of these days. Ooh. If you like Advance Wars, it's exactly that. I think it's weird to say my only complaint, but like. It's just Advance Wars. I feel like something like Wargroove, I think, is the best example of like this is Advance Wars, but it's not. It's got the more fantasy stuff to it. It's got all the different classes, which is so reminiscent to be like, yes, this is just like Advance Wars. Whereas this one, I think as I was playing through it, I enjoyed my time. I have no complaints about the gameplay. I think I got a little lost at first because I didn't get maybe a tutorial so much as like two characters talking like, let's practice war. And I'm like, okay. And like, if you played Advance Wars, I'm sure you're better at figuring out like, oh, I got to fight this and I get money in each round. I get this much money so I can do it again. But it kind of is just, I guess, stale in that way where there's nothing that, when I think of Wargroove, how different it is. When I look at Warside, I'm like, it looks great, but it doesn't really change anything from Advance Wars. And maybe that's just the amount of time I got or what content was in the demo where it didn't feel too fresh and renewing. I think if you played the remaster of Advance Wars, you're like, cool, I played it. Now I just need something else, and you want that itch. This will do it. This is the same game, but if you're like, I want Advance Wars with a little more pizzazz, like I don't think you'll get that. Maybe the character designs are cool. You're into new characters, and that might be the going force for you. But other than that, yeah, you're buying the stuff, you're moving the stuff, you're fighting the stuff, you're killing the stuff. So,
yeah, if you hadn't told me that this was a game called Warside,
yeah,
I would have asked if this was just Advance Wars.
Yeah,
it's a bit like too close for comfort.
Yeah, and like, even because we just had a Athena Crisis come out at the end of last month, which again is very similar to Advance Wars. I think one has it has a simpler art style. It goes for like the lower pixel count on the sprites and stuff. And I think the thing that makes that one stand out is that it has the Words with Friends asymmetrical gameplay going on, where like you can play a game, simultaneously, synchronous, where like you go, I go, you go, I go, just that chess, or you can do the like, all right, you go, I send my move. Whenever the person opens their laptop, like, oh, it's my turn. Beep, 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 send it again. The next dude's in bed getting ready for work in the morning, wakes up. Oh, cool. Beep, 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 makes his move. And like, you can do that. It'll take forever. But I think that's what kind of makes it stand out from some of the other like war sim. I don't even know if that's a genre you call it type thing. But yeah, Warside, I think where I was at just felt very simple. And again, that's not a bad thing. I have no bad things to say about what I played in the demo. I just don't think I have anything exceptional to say about it either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to try the demo myself just to see if there's like a lot of difference, because I loved Advanced Wars when it came out originally.
Yeah, Advance Wars is great. And I'm a sucker for Wargroove. Fuck, I love Wargroove. I need to finish this. I never finished the second one. I need to do that.
Same.
Damn.
Book club?
Book club. Listen. I could be down. That'll be a twist. Didn't expect that for a book club, did you? But yeah, I played Warside. What else you play?
I played a demo for Into the Restless Ruins.
Okay, let me see here. I don't know this one.
Well, by now you know that I love me some deck builders that dare to be a little different to the norm. Into the Restless Ruins takes some of what made Loop Hero such a phenomenal success and adds some vampire survivor type combat and creates this gameplay loop that I will probably become terribly addicted at by.
Oh no, those are dangerous words you just said. Yo, okay, go ahead, go pop off. This looks cool.
Basically, gameplay is divided into two phases. First, there's the building phase, in which you use the cards in your deck to build rooms in the dungeon that you're about to explore.
Yeah.
These can be regular corridors, but they can also be rooms that give you certain buffs during the second phase, which is the harvesting phase. So harvesting means that you get to explore the rooms that you've just built within the dungeon, trying to create connections with the rooms that are already on the map, but are shrouded in fog and mystery. In these rooms, you will also auto-battle some increasingly tough monsters, trying to discover everything you need to continue your progress towards the Warden, which is basically the end of dungeon boss battle. And then you need to make it back to the portal that will take you back to the building phase.
Jesus. That looks... anyone watching the video version saw my jaw drop when I saw this freaking map. Like, I know Loop Hero can get a little insane depending how big out you build. I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot to explore. Holy crap.
And the thing is, you get to choose how how you want to connect all of these rooms.
Yeah.
You play the rooms are cards in your hand, and you have like 3 mana to play 3 cards usually. And then you choose, because, for example, you need to get back to the portal that gets you back to the building phase. But you have a torch, and that torch will burn out.
Oh.
So you need to get back before you no longer have any light left.
Okay.
Also, figuring out where to put your rooms in the most strategic way, and which cards to add to your deck, it's such a joy.
Wow.
Like, it feels very intuitive, and you get to grips with the game's intricacies like really quickly. But yeah.
And you had mentioned like the auto battling, right? Is it how Vampire Survivors does this get? Is it that as I'm putting in rooms, I'm getting new weapons, and that's just a part of my kit? And then when I start these, no, okay. So how does that work? What is that?
Simpler than that.
Okay,
it's simpler than that. So you just run around, and when you encounter enemies, you will automatically attack them.
Okay.
And that way, it's like Vampire Survivors, and there are ways to like buff your attack.
Okay.
But that's only that only happens with each run. So each run, again and again, you have to buff your attacks for the increasingly powerful monsters. It's such a good time.
It looks cool.
Oh,
and
damn.
then my world is not persistent between death. So if I start building the map, I go in, I beat my first run, I get back to the teleporter, I go again, then I expand that world. If I go in and die, is that the end of my run? Then I start a brand new world and I do a whole new map and everything? No. Okay.
In the demo, at least, it wasn't.
Okay.
Because, for example, when I did a run and I returned to the building phase, and then I went back out for a harvesting phase, I still had the same amount of HP.
Oh, okay.
But when you die and return to the building phase and then set out on another harvesting run, you got full HP back.
Bet. Ooh.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's really interesting. Especially, like, I managed to get to, like, the Warden, and I have no idea how I'm ever going to beat that thing.
Gotta level up, baby.
So, I'm looking forward to, like, discovering the way to, like, challenge them. It's a fun time, and the gameplay loop just works so well.
You hit me with Loop Hero meets Vampire Survivors, and I just got the platinum of Vampire Survivors, and I'm like, I can move on. I'm like, fuck, damn it, shit, this is really cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be like a highly anticipated game for next year.
Hell yeah. Do we have a window yet, or we just know 2025?
The first quarter of 2025.
Okay, cool. Oh, damn. Fuck. I don't have time. I don't have time for all the games. That should be a shirt. I don't have time for all these indies. That's the next merch line.
Yes. Do it. But what else have you been playing?
Tofr, I'm writing down the merch idea. Wait a second, damn it.
Oh.
I'm
sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm not mad at you. I don't have time.
This is how it's gonna be, huh?
Yes. Oh. I have so many typos in this dog. I'm not even gonna lie to you. All these. I don't, but I have capital D-O lowercase N-T. Have time.
Okay.
I have time. I didn't write an M. I wrote an N. And then for all, I put 3 L's. I don't have time for all these
games.
Yes, all these games.
Oh.
Let me see. Anyway, did you ask me a question? What was up?
I asked you what else you've been playing.
Oh, what else have I been playing? I've been playing Amber Isle, Tofr. Said it again, but maybe I gotta just stop saying this. The farming life sim, do the whole shop thing, unless it's Moonlighter, usually not my like go-to grab it and have fun with it all the time. But there was a tweet out from the social media manager behind Amber Tales, I think is the name of the studio. They're like, hey, we're giving out keys to creators. If you want, let me know. I reached out. She sent me the key. No embargo. Have fun. I've not streamed it. I've just been playing it in Discord and posting on Instagram about being like, hey, it's a nice day out. Better stay inside and play dinosaur game. But essentially, you're a new guy. You're a new dinosaur. Oh, this is a weird frame. You look at the back of my head. Let me see if I go to my character creator. Let's do this one. This is my little guy. I named him Daniel. This is my dinosaur. So essentially, you're a new dinosaur on this island that's kind of just like devoid of a lot of. They don't have a shop. A bunch of people are just like, I'll just live here because it's cozy. But like, I don't. You got a guy who's roaming around doing like surveying like the areas and like, well, is this place up to snuff for livability and blah 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 blah. But he's just like, let me show you how to run a shop. So you open the shop, you go out, you find materials, you come back. As you complete tasks, you get these inspiration points. Use the inspiration points to open this grid, which you can now just learn the recipe for new things. So like as you go out and you're like, cool, I want to learn a new artisan thing. So you open that grid, it costs 150 inspiration. I got 300, boom, I buy the recipe. I can go to my shop, I craft it, I put it on the shelf, I open the shop and they come in and buy it. And this is where like the Moonlighter part where I'm like, shit, I'm in, dog, I'm in. So you do the thing. So far, I've not had to deal with any thieves. No one's stealing anything.
Okay.
It does seem fairly easy in the way that like failure doesn't seem like a super big problem. And also sometimes failure is very hard to do. Okay. I'll open the shop and let me see if I can pull up like a shopkeeping portion rather than like me exploring the town here. Here we go. Someone will come in and they'll start marching around like, ooh, I would really like to buy this thing. They'll bring it up to the counter like, hey, I've been looking for this. I'll offer you $200. And they're like, that's their starting offer. And then you can go like, no, 600. And they're like, hey, that's a little salty. How about 250? And I think I'm giving a little bit too much range here. It's usually a lot closer. I'm like, no, 500. Like, dude, you're kind of crazy. How about 260? No, 400. Like, man, and they'll do the same thing, right? And you'll get closer and closer to the middle. Eventually, they'll reach a point where they just do not go up anymore. You're like, okay, that's the price. I think usually I can maybe jump up $1 there. So if they're like, all right, 275. Like, cool, I'll take 276. You got yourself a deal, buddy. It seems like the one time I annoyed somebody with that, they still bought it, but I got an achievement for having someone buy something they didn't like. So I don't know if that's a separate thing or whatever. People will come in, they'll be like, hey, I need a wooden item. This, I think, is probably the most challenging part, because if you don't have something crafted and made when they come in and ask, they're just like, oh, I see you just don't have what I need. I guess I'll come back. You don't lose points. You don't lose reputation, I think, or anything. You just don't sell something that day. But like here, you'll see like this Triceratops come in. She asked 503 for the basket. I'm like 600. Oh, I can't afford that. 520. And then you bounce back and forth and you increase how much you want to offer and how much this and the other. They won't even let you undercut yourself. The one time I messed up, she was like, I'll give you 500. And I put 200 by accident. She's like, no, I can't take something for that cheap. 500. So I'm like, 700? Like, that's too expensive. And sometimes it's funny to watch them back and forth. Like, but it's super cozy. Like, the challenge isn't super there. Like, it's not the thing of like, oh, I'm going out late, I can't do this. Eventually, like, there are chunks of the day that you can't do things anymore. Like, at a certain point in night, you can't open the shop. And there's an achievement for like, I want a whole day without opening the shop. You just don't earn money for that day, but it's not like you're quick. You got to get everything out of there. Otherwise, you're going to get kicked out of town. Like, it is super, super simple. It's a fun time. I've enjoyed meeting some of the people around town. You build relationships with them, which I think give you like increased stats and stuff for like selling and haggling and everything. Nothing I've noticed too much. This motherfucker Coral keeps rolling in like, I'm about to go out to sea. I need something made out of metal. And like, I don't have anything made out of metal. And she's like, well, I guess I'm leaving. And I'm like, fuck you, Coral. I hate you. But like, again, super sweet. But there's a little old man who's like, no one can run a shop in this town. You could never accomplish what we need. I need 500,000 dino dollars or something like that. And you're like, ooh, can I raise that? Other critique where I'm at so far is the intro tutorial is a little long-winded in the way of like, you get that first major task. You do the thing, you build the shop, cool. And then they're like, all right, cool. I need you to make, I think it's like $200,000 or something, or 2,000. It's $200,000. I think I might be making that up, but you just kind of have to just go through the motions at that point. You go in, you find some wood, you go back, you make something, you sell it, do it again. It probably took me like maybe 10-ish in world games, in world days to like accomplish that goal. But eventually I was making more and more money as I was like, I made money. I used the currency to upgrade the shop. I made more shelves so I could sell more stuff. I only have like 5 or 6 villagers right now who can even buy stuff. So it is like at max, like 5 or 6 items a day I can sell. So I got a little grindy for a bit, but I've just unlocked the first new area. I have new materials. I have dark wood and stuff, so I can have all these different things. I'm digging it a lot. I think it's just really fun. It's simple. It doesn't seem like the aggression of like, you got to complete something is there. It's kind of just do it. And when you meet new people and you build new houses, so they want to move to the island. I think I just got 3 new villages. Like, I want to move in. I just need you to hit these accommodations for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people who like a little less, but like Disney Dreamlight Valley. Dreamlight Valley? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something very similar to that. Just, you know, you're not seeing your Disney guys, but I like it. I like it a lot. Like,
how much time do you spend inside your shop and outside of your shop?
I think it can be as much. I won't say that. I was going to say it can be as much as you want, but that can't be true because you can only spend as much time in the shop as you have materials worth. The materials, as I'm at right now, are very like, it's sparing per day. I go out in the field to get stuff. There's a couple trees. Once you kind of deforest the first time, which you can get a good chunk out of, there's stations. So you use the amber that you earn to upgrade those stations. And now if I go here, this tree spot has 2 things of wood every day. This stone spot has 2 things of stone every day. 2 things of dirt, 2 things of plants. Like those spots exist every day. Once you clear those out, unless you have some random spawns around, like you've cleared that area. So that can only make so much a day. So you go back, craft the stuff, go out again, do it the next day, and maybe find some fair things. So I think I've personally spent a lot more time out and about trying to find stuff until I'm like, I've explored all the area that I have. So I go back. So right now it's been pretty balanced of me going out, find it, go in, sell it, go out, find it, back and forth. Where I'm at now that I have a brand new area, I see myself out exploring more. But then once I have the stuff, I'm going to deck out my shop. I'm going to put all the shelves in. I'm going to upgrade the stuff. I'm going to make items that I can sell for a lot. I'm going to make a backlog of just random wooden shit. Because when they come in and like, I want something made out of wood, they don't care what it is. At least where I'm at, they don't care. They just want something made out of wood. So I'm going to have in my box, I'm like, this is the wood stuff. This is the stone stuff. This is the whatever. This is the artisan stuff. This is the musician stuff. So the moment they come in, like, I need something musician. Here, take this random music stand. Oh my God, I love it. Even though I've bought 15 of these things from you, I love it. Like I'm going to just stockpile myself so I'm ready for next time. And I think I'll spend more time in the shop as I move forward here. But right now it's pretty balanced.
And is there a lot of customization to the shop? Like, is it solely like I have a new shelf to put stuff on, or can you like decorate as well?
Yes, you can decorate. Basically, if you make some of your items, you can place them around the shop and the floor. Like in my shop, I only have 2 of my items. I have like a coat hook in the back corner. I have like a little table at the front. You can craft shelves and then put those around the floor. Each shelf so far is just like a single unit. So it's almost like making like a chair, and you're just like bop, 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 10 chairs across the room. And then as I make items, I put items on those stands. So that's pretty customizable. I don't know if I can make the shop bigger or if this is going to be the scale of my shop as I move forward. But yeah, you can kind of build the shop how you want. I've been trying to play with controller, and right now I'm in that spot where a lot of it's good with controller, but I think the shop management construction thing is like, I can't quite wrap my head around it. You kind of have to do it in tabs. I wish there was just a free edit mode. And maybe there is, I just haven't like seen it yet. And I'm not sure where that like option is, but like I'll put the shelf down and like that's in the shelf menu. But if I go to put an item on, but I'm in the shelf menu, it like won't function or won't move. Or if I go to take an item out, but if I go delete a shelf, but I'm in item mode, I can't just move the shelf. I got to make the item. Then I got to go to shelf mode. Then I got to take the shelf out. So sometimes that's a little weird. And maybe that's just the learning curve of getting used to it. It's not a big enough complaint for me to be like, I wouldn't play this game for this garbage. But I was just like, oh, I gotta figure out how to organize better. But yeah, it's cute the way you can kind of just buy wallpaper, slap it on. You buy doors, it slaps it on. Those are pretty concrete. They are where they are. Like you don't put the door on the left side instead of the right side. Like the door's there, the door to your bedroom. You buy the doors, it changes both to the same style. Same for the wallpaper, same for the floor. So right now it's pretty simple. I don't know about clothes yet. During the character customization, there's a clothes menu, but you only have this like one like ragged t-shirt. So I'm like, can I get clothes for Daniel? Can I get Daniel some nice shirts? Because right now he's running around this basic little tee. So I have to assume I'm getting closer to that, but I want to give my little guy clothes. He's just like, I'm here. I'm Daniel.
He's adorable though.
I love him. He's so cute. I love little Daniel. The customization was pretty open too. Like you basically start, again, weird menu, you kind of have to go in like, I'm in the face menu, but I got to go to the eye, the nose, the mouth, the everything menu. But there's a lot of options for like customizing your dinosaur. I liked it. All the colors, all the different things. It's hard to see, but I gave him one green eye, one blue eye. Here's the one thing, not a complaint, but it's just kind of weird. when people come into your shop, they don't wipe their damn feet. So like you get items to brush off dust from things and clean up the feet, the footprints. But like it doesn't seem necessary because there's like a cleanliness bar on the right. But as fast as they come in, grab something and go to check out, they have like a 5-second timer before it's like, get over here and summon the thing or I'm leaving. But as soon as they come in, take a step, I'm like, let me get the broom. And I sweep up 1 footstep. They're like, sell me something. I'm like, okay, I'm coming. And then they all get in line. So there's not like a break in between. It's just like bam, 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 out the door. As soon as the last person leaves, the shop closes. So like, there doesn't seem to be a reason right now for me to clean the store, let alone time to clean the store. So that's a little weird for me. I don't know if that'll change later. I'm like, yeah, now I can clean the store and it actually matters for something. But I think just in my own time, I've been like, yo, Coral, stop walking, wipe your feet off, damn it. And then go and do my thing. But it's, yeah. It's cute. I like it. I like Amber Isle a lot. And this comes out today as we're dropping this episode. So this is out on Steam right now. So good time. It's nice. Fun. Would recommend.
Okay, cool.
Whew. But let me see, Tofr, you got another one on this list. And this is one we talked about the art style. I got to see what's going on with this thing. What we got here?
You want more deck building? I've got more deck building.
Let me see. Do I have to pull up the itch page for this one? Just because if it's only the 15-second trailer, I got to see what this game's about. Let me see.
Well, let me tell you.
Tell me.
This game is called Shroom and Gloom.
Okay.
It's by Team Laserbeam. It's not on Steam yet, but the demo can be downloaded from itch.io. The first thing that stands out with this one, as people who are watching on YouTube can attest, is its striking visuals with these 2D sprites in a 3D world looking just delightful. The aesthetic choices here are just mwah.
It's giving Cryptmaster a little bit. It doesn't seem as like checkerboard, like front, left, right, whatever. But like something about the world and the first person like walking around, I'm like, oh, hold on, I'm getting Cryptmaster.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. So yeah, it is first person, and it's not just during the card-based battles, but it also sees you wandering around this system of caves, where you've been sent with a certain purpose apparently. Because when you arrive at the entrance to the caves, you're holding a folded sheet of paper with the letter W on it, which you're holding in your trembling hand. So, no idea yet why that is a thing, but apparently something bad is about to go down.
No, please.
What's another cool thing about this game is that you're using 2 decks of cards.
Okay.
One is for like the traveling through the cave system, and one is used during battles. I'm especially looking forward to seeing what like the traversal cards are gonna be like, how you're gonna use them, how you're gonna build a deck that you like using. But for this demo, it was pretty cool. It was limited, but it was pretty cool. The thing is, this demo was made in just 3 months.
Okay.
Which I feel is insane because it has so much polish.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It seems to combine my favorite things from Slay the Spire and Inscription.
Yeah.
And still, but it's still its own unique thing. The fact that they made this in only 3 months is mind-blowing to me. And I'm hoping, like, they put the demo out with hopes of turning this into a full game.
Okay.
And I'm really hoping so as well, because this looks like it could be one of the best deck builders around.
I'm really vibing with the way this looks. I love the visual style. There's something very like cartoony is the wrong word, but like watching if you watch the video version, you see like the characters very like bouncy as they walk through. So there's like jolliness doesn't seem like the word to use, but like there's a liveliness to it that I really like. And yeah, the deck building roguelike's really cool, and I'm into that. And I like the the game that came out this year, the Metroidvania, Ultros. It gives a lot of Ultros vibes. And the style of the characters, the world and everything. I'm like, oh shit, this is really cool. I like this a lot.
And another neat feature of the game is that you don't just battle your enemies, you can eat them.
Okay. So what does
some
that do
cards-
for you?
For example, my character had a card that was called Roast.
Okay.
And if you use that and it drains all of your enemy's HP, you eat them and you regain some HP.
Ooh, okay. Hell yeah. We eating? I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Shit, let me download it.
Team Laserbeam is a studio that I want to keep more of an eye on because
Yeah.
they're also working on Wrestling with Emotions too.
Oh, okay.
And that's a game about dating wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that game.
Yeah, there's a demo for it, but I haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah. Oh shit, Wrestling with Emotions, dude. Let's go. That's awesome. No, that's really cool. I hope to see that one get listed on Steam soon. As much as I know I need to get better at using itch as a whole. I'm just bad at getting on the platform. But oh look, Grunn's on the homepage. That's great. Yeah, dude. I love that. That looks really cool. I'm very excited to see that one more.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the demo a bit more as well because I only did one run so far.
Yeah. You mentioned it was and I died. You mentioned it was fairly short or I forget how you phrased it. Does it seem like there's a cutoff? Like, is it, oh, here's like 2 rooms you get? Do you see the scale of it yet, or?
No, I died, so I have no idea how far you can go
Cool.
in the demo. But I'm expecting that it won't be that long since it was made in only 3 months. But it's like it's such a good appetizer for like the full game.
This is one that I see will be at freaking, yes, I have a clown nose on my finger. I'm getting tested for ADHD this week. I promise it's happening. This seems like a type of game that we'd be sitting at watching like a 6-1 showcase or a Guerrilla Collective or something, and we're gonna see like the mushroom guy like, Shroom and Gloom, Tofr, they showed it, it's the game. Like, I'm jazzed for that moment. I'm waiting for that to happen.
Yep.
Or seeing like an Indie World event coming to Switch, or something cool like that. I love that for indies. That's so cool.
I would love that. I would love to see this game like in a AAA initiative or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Go indies.
Yeah.
But all right. I got one more game. And Tofr, this game's really cute.
Okay.
So this game is called Dobble Dungeon. It is a dice rolling roguelike. It's all claymation. It is absolutely precious. I don't know why this video is frozen. Here we go. Here's the intro cutscene. You build your party, so very like D&D-esque. They all have names. I forget what they are. There's like a cat girl with like flaming claws. There's like a paladin, and there's like a wizard. And as you roll in, you have like 5 different options. There's moving, there's attacking, there's defending, there's re-rolling, so you can re-roll 1 die, and then there's buffs. Once you start your turn, your characters, depending on their stats, will roll a certain amount of die. I think when you start, everybody gets 2. It's just a regular D6. You roll the die, and then whatever shows up on it, you can place that however you want on this turn. So just like D&D, everybody gets movement, and then you can use any of those die in whatever action you want. There's an option to like extend your movement. One of the buffs is that. So if I'm like, I can only move so far, I put one of my die in. That gives me, if I rolled a 1, I get 1 extra step. If I rolled a 6, I get 6 extra steps. And next footage should be actual gameplay here. Will it? There we go. But as you complete a mission, it has the roguelike open world like mission select type deal. So you start in the tutorial, and as you beat that level, there's 2 different paths, and it's the roaming, I say like Mario and Rabbids, where you kind of just walk around as like your party and do the thing. You go to the place, it's like, here's the mission, here's what you got to do. Each mission has like extra side objectives. Every time you complete a mission, you get a certain amount of like skill points to level up your characters, and if every side objective you complete, you get an additional skill point. Once you get out and you pick your party, you're like, I'm going to give 5 points to this guy, 3 points to this guy, 2 points to this guy. Those points can go to increase the amount of dice you roll each turn. You can increase the amount of like actions that occur. If you're like, oh, cool, I have a shield bash. Each turn it'll bash 2 times instead of 1, or it's got more range, or I increase my overall health. Like, it's all how you want to build your cast. And then once you complete that objective, you go out, you pick another mission. If you lose a character, they're dead. They're out of the run. which I was confused about the first time. I thought they only joined me for one mission because I completed it, but I completed it after they all died. So I did the run with just the paladin, and I got pretty far, but I could not beat it because I ended up going against I think they're called porks, like orcs, but with a P. So they're porks.
Okay.
But yeah, like on this mission, it's protect the villagers, the main objective. You have to defeat all the enemies. End the mission with Christian. He's the paladin at full health, which you have the wizard, I think is Elm, I believe is his name. He's the one that will heal everybody. So you want to use him. If he dies, you don't really have options for healing, at least not in like those first 3 like levels. But he's also got cool things. He's got wet, and as you level him up, he's got electricity. So you can shoot a beam of water at somebody, which will make them wet and do damage. And then if you have enough turns, you can use electricity to electrocute them, which will do additional damage because they have a status effect of wet. The female character, she's mainly fire-based, and then Christian is more melee-based. And I'm hoping to have like more of the levels here. Sometimes you're defending plays, you're defending a windmill. Sometimes you have a carriage you have to move, and you have to like defeat all the enemies so you can push the carriage forward. It's so charming. It is so adorable. It took me a minute to get used to like how to put in my dice and everything. But like once I got to the turns where I have like, I think the menu gives you the option for 7 dice. Once you get to 8, it just adds an extra row. So like you could have it, at max, I've seen at least 14 dice like per turn.
Nice.
And then you'll put those how you want. Each action can only occur once. So like if I want to re-roll a die, like I rolled a 1. Oh, that's dumb. I can put that in the re-roll and roll it again. I won't lie. That has very rarely yielded positive results for me. The amount of times I've re-rolled a 1 to just get another 1 is staggering. It has happened a lot, but I think RNG was just not on my side that day. But eventually you'll get some like the fire character. She gets fireball, which you put in 2 dice, and they'll combine those numbers, round it down, and then you'll do that much damage, but it also has splash area. So like if you get a bunch of the porks together and then blam, they'll just detonate like, damage, let's go. Nice. And the camera is really fun. Like I say that as if it like does anything. It just like you can make it so dynamic. You can zoom out so it's like top of the board D&D type deal, or you can zoom in where it's this more like close encounter. I can see everything that's going on right in this little nook. I checked out the demo. I think I saw these guys on TikTok perhaps. I'm like, let me download that one. And I was so impressed. I love what this has so far. The demo's on Steam. It's fun. I haven't beaten a run yet. There's a 4th character you can get, and the whole mission is they're like trapped in a cage, and they're surrounded by these porks. And the porks come from these like bases, and they'll spawn in. So you want to take out those bases before you have like 20, 30 orcs against like your team of 3. Sometimes that's really hard. I've yet to like get that extra character. I've let them out of the cage, but I haven't beaten the mission. So it's like, psych, you suck. Try again. Yeah. But man, I'm in. Like whenever this drops, like I could see this being a Steam Deck game that I'm in love with. Yeah. I did play with mouse and keyboard, which is probably the ideal way. I don't know how controller's gonna go when it comes to like selecting your spot and everything. But yeah, Dobble Dungeon. That's cool.
It looks really cool. Yeah. Is this one coming out anytime soon? Or
Great question. Let me find out. Dobble Dungeon on Steam. Right now, it says Q3 2025, so we're talking later next year. But the demo's out there. And I'm imagining, right, with like all the different effort that has to go into animating some of these characters, I'm sure they're like still fairly on for all they want. But dude, I'm so impressed. Just the animation as a whole. Like, I want to run it back because it was so cute. But there's an intro cutscene, right? Where it's just like, the freaking characters. Oh, the witch did something which activated the whole town. And the first cutscene for the tutorial where you're like meeting the one guy is like teaching you how to fight. Like, it's so great. Like, this gives me that almost kid show like quality animation, but like not to sound like it's like patronizing or belittling. Like, it's really good. Like, it's gorgeous. Like if I was a parent and my kids had this on, I'm like, hey kids, what you watching? Ooh, this is cool. Like I'm in. This is fun. I really like it. Yeah, Dobble Dungeon. Couldn't recommend enough. Try out this demo. It's really fun.
Cool. Yeah, that one's going straight onto the wish list.
Hell yeah, let's go. Now Dobble Dungeon. I'm just saying, if you want to add skins or extra characters of Tofr and I for Dobble Dungeon, that would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty dope. I said, I get to see this in claymation. That'd be pretty fun. Just offers on the table. We got about a year before release, so why not? You know. Oh man, but that's what we've been playing this week. I think you playing anything else this week? Or?
I played some Marvel Snap for the first time.
Ooh,
in
fun.
months.
How was that?
Yeah, I wasted an entire evening on that.
Isn't really wasted if you had a good time. Did you win?
That's true. Oh yeah.
There, cool. Not a waste. Good. I would say I was playing Redacted, but I'm not playing Redacted. I'll explain that to you later. But I do have Redacted. So. Oh hell yeah, chat. What have you guys been playing? I've come to the point where I just call everything chat. Comment section, they're all chat. That's the way that works. They're chat. Yeah, let us know in the comments what you've been playing, what indie games you're checking out, and which ones you plan to in the coming week. Speaking of games in the coming week, nice segue. Let's talk about the indies releasing this week. We have from October 10th through October 16th. We have Last Time I Saw You dropping on October 10th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. We have Faith the Unholy Trinity on October 10th for Switch. We have Diceomancer on October 10th for PC. Amber Isle, which I just talked about, October 10th for Switch and PC. Thronefall on October 11th for Switch and PC, and that's version 1.0, so I'm guessing that's in early access now, right? A Thronefall? Yeah. Another big one we waited a while for, Europa, drops on October 11th for Switch and PC. And then the Big Daddy events here. Steam Next Fest is here next week. That'll be October 14th through, is that a week? 21st? Is that how that'll go?
I think so, yeah.
Typically, yeah. Our plan for Next Fest is, because by the time we record the podcast, we'll have literally like less than a day to have played demos. So whatever we play, we'll probably mention on that week's podcast and what we've been playing. But the following week will end up being our like Steam Next Fest, like here's what we played this week episode. So look forward to that. Next up, we've got Neva dropping October 15th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Then we have Drova, which I have no idea what that one is, October 15th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. And then to round out the list, we have Crow Country coming on October 16th to Switch. That one's really cool. If you like horror games like the classic Resident Evil, like play Crow Country. That one's really cool. I love that one. Any of these screaming to you, you're like, oh dude, this week, this is me.
Diceomancer, baby.
Okay, I get it. Diceomancer looks cool.
Yeah, it's deck building, and it has dice to influence your cards, and it's funny. It's incredibly funny. Also, I'm gonna be checking out Thronefall because I bought it in early access, and it was really like it's such a good Steam Deck game. This one.
Okay. To double check.
I want to see how it turns out in the 1.0 release.
Yeah, I had to swing back. I'm like, I know the name Thronefall, but I had to see which one it was because there's so many of the like city builder, like defense ones. What was Drova?
Thronefall also, if people like Islanders, it's from the same developers.
Okay. Oh, Drova. I don't recognize this one. I like the pixel art though. It looks gorgeous. It reminds me of Moon Hunters a little bit. Which, God, can we get another one of those, please? God, I would love a Moon Hunters too. Oh my God, Moon Hunters. Cool. I don't know what team made that. I wonder if it's one of the things I'm like, is that studio alive? I don't know who made it. And I don't know if they're like around to make another one. Someone should.
Also, we have to mention Neva because that one.
Yes. It looks so
I can't believe they're launching in the middle of Steam Next Fest.
Dude, that's crazy. It's wild, but honestly, they'll be fine. They're a Devolver.
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited for that one. I've seen so many people lately posting about Gris, however you want to say it. And then I mentioned it in my like upcoming October releases video. I think it's one of the thumbnails. Yeah. And I'm like so excited for that one. I like want to get my hands on it so bad. I'm like, fuck, give me the game.
We're gonna cry, Danny. We're gonna
probably. Listen, we not spoilers in the trailer. The first wolf dies, then we have the cub, right? If the second wolf dies, I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna fucking riot.
Oh yeah.
I'm suing Devolver, and you can take that to the bank. not even the studio that made it, Devolver. This is your fault.
Yeah.
Oh man. But with that rounds out this episode of Playlog. Guys, thank you so much for listening in. I hope you enjoyed this discussion on indie gaming. Be sure to let us know in the comments what you love about the podcast, the indie games, what you're playing these days, etc., etc. If you're watching on YouTube, please do me a favor, leave that thumbs up. It helps spread the video so more people get to see it. If you're listening on Spotify, Amazon, any of those fine platforms, be sure to leave that 5-star review. It really helps more people on that platform find it. Then they can come on over here, find the content, and we grow as a community, you know what I'm saying? So help us out. Tofr, if the Scrubbly Bubblies wanted to find you on the webs, where would they go?
They can find me through my link tree, which is play.nice.kids in one word.
Hell yeah. And then we're streaming on Sundays. We know what we're streaming this week?
I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming this week because I'm helping friends move house.
Tell them you're busy. Oh, man. I set you up and just went for the spike. I said, psych, no, I don't want it. That's fine. It's all right. We'll forgive you. Of course. But you can find me at CGDannyB all over the interwebs. I will be streaming. What am I playing tonight? I'm streaming the night this episode drops. I don't know if you're familiar. Chillis Arts games. They make a bunch of like horror indie games. And they have one called Parasocial, which seems like it's like a socially awkward girl like communicating with people from her computer. Apparently it's like the best one they have. Luckily that's the one I bought, and chat was like, ooh, that's a good one. So I'm looking forward to it. So we'll be streaming that tonight. And then on Saturday afternoon, I'll be doing the demo for Usual June, which is the one that's been set on my PC for a minute. So I got to check that one out. Yeah, I'm excited to check those out. But yeah, you can find those twitch.tv/CGDannyB. So look forward to it. And with that, everybody, you have a great rest of your week. Stay beautiful, stay lovely. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.